When most people first see the screen, you think they're looking at a person in the middle of a loud, desperate sky. The figure stands on a bridge, hands pressed tightly against its face, its mouth stretched open in a way that immediately suggests panic. It feels intense, almost uncomfortable to look at, as if something terrible is happening in that exact moment. But the strange thing is, nothing is actually happening. There is no visible threat in the scene. No one is chasing the figure. No disaster is unfolding in front of us. In fact, in the background, two people continue walking, as if everything is completely normal. And that contrast is what makes the image so unsettling. The panic we see doesn't match the reality around it. The more you look at the painting, the more it begins to feel less like a scene and more like a state of mind. The figure itself doesn't even look fully human. Its face is simplified, almost skeletal, lacking detail but full of expression. It feels more like a symbol than a person, something meant to represent an emotion rather than an individual. Even the body seems unstable, as if it's dissolving into the environment around it. And then there's the sky. It doesn't sit quietly in the background like in most landscapes. Instead, it moves. It twists in long flowing streaks of red and orange, almost like waves or sound vibrations spreading through the air. It doesn't look natural, it looks overwhelming. At this point, the painting starts to shift. It's no longer about what we're seeing, but about what we're feeling. This becomes clearer when you understand the experience behind it. The artist Edvard Munch once described walking outside at sunset with friends when something unusual happened. The sky suddenly turned a deep, intense red, and in that moment, he felt a wave of anxiety so strong that he described it as a scream passing through nature. That description changes everything because now the figure in the painting doesn't look like someone screaming at the world. It looks like someone reacting to something the world is doing to them. The distortion of the sky, the instability of the figure, the strange silence of the background, all of it begins to feel connected. It's as if the painting is trying to capture a moment where reality itself feels overwhelming, where emotion is no longer contained inside a person, or seems to spread into everything around them. And that's why the two figures in the background matter. They are calm, distant, and affected, while the central figure experiences something intense and consuming. The rest of the world continues as if nothing is wrong. That contrast introduces another layer to the painting, one that goes beyond fear and moves into something deeper: isolation. It suggests the idea that a person can feel something powerful, even unbearable, while everyone around them remains unaware. The scream in that sense isn't something that's heard, it's something that exists internally without release. This is what gives the painting its lasting impact. It doesn't rely on specific events or a clear narrative. Instead, it captures a feeling that is difficult to explain but easy to recognize. Everyone at some point has experienced a moment where something feels off, where everything looks normal on the outside, but internally something doesn't sit right. The screen takes that feeling and gives it a form. It doesn't try to make sense of it, it doesn't evolve it, it simply presents it. And maybe that's why it continues to resonate, because it doesn't show us something happening in the world, it shows us something happening within a person in a way that feels real, even if it doesn't look real. In the end, the scream isn't just a painting of fear, it's a reflection of what it feels like when emotion becomes overwhelming, when the line between the inner world and the outer world begins to blur. And in that sense, the figure isn't just part of the scene, it is the scene.